This video is not about self-improvement. Every generation believes it discovered the secret to becoming better, but ours turned it into an industry.
The system doesn't reward results. Platforms don't ask whether advice helps you. They ask whether it keeps you watching.
Most self-improvement creators don't make money doing the thing. They make money teaching it, and that changes everything. At some point, self-improvement stops being a tool. Once improvement becomes your identity, stopping feels like failure.
The most effective form of self-improvement doesn't look like improvement at all. It looks like subtraction. Notice something strange. The better you get, the more you're told you're behind. Improvement used to have an end.
The system doesn't reward results. It rewards engagement. Platforms don't ask if advice works. They ask if you watch to the end.
Which brings us to the people who understood this better than anyone.
At some point, self-improvement stops being something you do and becomes who you are. Once improvement becomes your identity, rest feels like failure. You're not lazy, you're just never allowed to be done.
And that has consequences.
You're doing everything right, and somehow you feel worse.
More information, less certainty. More motivation, less peace.
Because constant self-improvement teaches you that you are the problem, and problems don't get to rest. The most effective improvement strategy doesn't look like improvement at all. It doesn't scale, it doesn't impress, and it doesn't post well. Deciding you're done doesn't mean giving up. It means choosing a different metric. Not potential, not optimization, not who you could be, but whether your life actually works. For you. The exit isn't dramatic. There's no announcement, no final transformation.
You stop consuming advice you didn't ask for. You stop tracking things that don't matter.
Stop confusing activity with progress, not because those things are evil, but because you no longer need them.
Most growth happens after you stop watching videos about growth, because real change requires space.
And the industry fills every empty moment with instructions. When you remove the noise, what's left is simpler than expected.
Sleep enough. Move your body. Maintain a few relationships.
Do work that's tolerable. Make enough money. Then stop thinking about yourself so much.
That's not a system. That's a life.
If that feels underwhelming, good. That's how you know it isn't trying to sell you something. Who benefits if you believe you're never enough?
Survive managing dissatisfaction by keeping you close to improvement, but never inside completion.
So when you feel the urge to start again, a new routine, a new system, a new version of yourself,
pause and ask yourself, is this actually necessary? Or is this just familiar?
The quiet truth is this: you don't win by becoming extraordinary. You win by becoming unavailable to things that don't matter. No audience, no performance, no optimization loop, just days that feel acceptable.
Then occasionally great. That's not impressive, but it's real.
Self-improvement feels productive. That's its genius. It gives you the sensation of forward motion without forcing confrontation.
Because working on yourself is often easier than working on your life. It's safer to tweak routines than to leave the wrong job. Safer to consume content than to have a difficult conversation. Safer to optimize habits than to admit you're unhappy. So improvement becomes a delay tactic, a sophisticated form of procrastination, one that looks responsible. Optimization didn't start with influencers. It started with systems. Systems that benefit when individuals self-regulate.
There's a cost to always becoming. You trade presence for preparation, acceptance for anticipation.
But it sounds almost irresponsible. Choose good enough, not as resignation, as strategy.
Enough health to function, enough money to breathe, enough order to reduce friction. The last lie of self-improvement is that stopping means stagnation. It doesn't. It means trust. Trust that your life doesn't needing must be improved to be acceptable. Trust that you are allowed to exist without justification.
And once you accept that, the noise fades, the urgency dissolves, the project ends.
The human brain needs closure. Clear beginnings, clear endings.
But modern self-improvement removes endings. There is always a better version, a higher standard.
And finishing, in a world that profits from endless effort, is the most subversive act of all.
Life doesn't need a sequel.
If self-improvement worked the way it's advertised, most of this content wouldn't exist. And yet, it's everywhere. Books, courses, coaches, systems, an entire economy built on one assumption.
The self-improvement industry claims it wants to help you win.
Doesn't. It wants you trying. Because winners don't binge advice. They stop searching. They stop paying attention.
Industries don't scale on outcomes. They scale on incomplete customers.
And the most profitable customer is someone who believes they're almost there. Here's how the model works. If you fail, it's your fault. If you succeed, credit the guru.
This is perfect design. The system is never wrong. Only your mindset is, which means there is no exit condition.
No finish line. No, you're done. Just iteration.
New habits, new frameworks, new versions of yourself.
Failure keeps you subscribed. Success ends the relationship. So guess which one the system optimizes.
Most self-improvement creators don't get rich doing the thing. They get rich teaching the thing.
Their lifestyle is not proof of the method. It is the method. If their advice reliably worked,
You'd stop needing them. Which is why the advice stays abstract. Discipline, consistency, mindset.
Concepts vague enough to feel deep and useless enough to never be falsified.
Once you adopt the identity of someone working on themselves, stopping feels like regression. Rest feels irresponsible. Contentment feels suspicious.
You're no longer living your life. You're managing a personal optimization project.
Because if it were, the industry collapses.
here's the quiet outcome no one posts. More information. Less clarity.
More motivation, less direction. Let the fire inside guide you. That's where true power lies.
More potential, more anxiety.
And problems don't get peace. They get fixed.
Over and over and over.
Real improvement is boring. It doesn't scale. It doesn't sell well. And it doesn't look impressive online.
It's less about becoming someone new and more about removing what doesn't matter.
Fewer inputs, fewer voices, fewer systems.
Enough competence. Enough money. Enough discipline. Then stop. An industry built on your dissatisfaction will never let you feel satisfied.
So the most dangerous thing you can do is not optimize harder.
It's to decide you're done. No next version. No upgrade.
Just a life you actually live. And that is terrible for business.
And everything finally clicks. But after years of trying, why does it still feel like something's wrong? And why does an industry built on fixing your life seem to grow?
What whiling wrong don't. Self-improvement works. Just enough to keep you trying.
You wake up early. You journal. You optimize your morning.
And for a moment, it feels good. Because progress isn't the product. Every habit tracker, every new framework, every "Boo, this changed my life" video.
Most improvements don't compound forever. They plateau. So when progress slows,
The system doesn't say this is enough. It says, you're doing it wrong.
wrong routine, wrong mindset, wrong version of you.
And that's when the loop closes. If self-improvement worked the way it's advertised, this video wouldn't exist. In fact, most of the content you're watching right now wouldn't exist because the promise isn't results.
You're close. You're not there yet. One more habit.
But here's the uncomfortable question no one asks. What if the system isn't broken? At first, it feels incredible. Clarity replaces confusion. Motivation replaces guilt.
You were just missing the right framework. And for the first time in a while, you feel hopeful.
But hope has a side effect. It makes you patient with discomfort. Here's where things quietly shift.
Don't do the thing, you get ready to do the thing. Optimize the morning before starting the work.
Fix yourself before living. Because now failure has an explanation. You lacked consistency. You didn't avoid the hard thing. You just needed a better system.
And every setback points to the same solution. More input.
What if this is the video that unlocks it? What if you quit one step before the breakthrough, and slowly self-improvement stops being a tool?
It becomes a loop. You're not failing. You're engaged.
And that's when the system reveals what it was really designed to reward. Stopping feels like quitting. Rest feels lazy. Contentment feels dangerous.
Because if you're not improving, who are you? So life becomes a performance review. Every day tracked, every habit scored, every moment judged. You're no longer living your life.
Managing a personal optimization project, and the project never ends, because an ending is bad for business.
If you ever felt complete, the industry collapses.
Here's the outcome no one posts. More information, less clarity, less direction, more potential, more anxiety. Constant self-improvement teaches you one thing. You are the problem. Every flaw highlighted.
Every idle moment wasted. Every ordinary day insufficient. And problems don't get peace, they get fixed. An industry built on your dissatisfaction will never let you feel satisfied, because satisfaction can't be monetized.
So the most dangerous thing you can do is not optimize harder. It's to decide you're done.
There's a moment no one talks about. It happens after you stop trying to improve yourself.
Not immediately, but slowly. At first, it feels wrong.
Like you're falling behind. Like you're being irresponsible. Like you're wasting time.
Because for so long, movement meant progress, and stillness meant failure.
Then something strange happens. The noise fades. You stop measuring every day. And you're not late to becoming someone else. You're just here. Here's what the industry can never admit. Most people aren't scared of failing. They're scared that if they stop improving,
nothing dramatic will happen. No collapse, no regret, no wasted potential montage.
Enough doesn't mean giving up. It means you stop confusing growth with worth. It means your value isn't tied to output.
You still work. You still try. You still care. Or potential you haven't unlocked yet.
You just don't turn your entire existence into a performance metric. Growth becomes a side effect, not a personality.
The self-improvement industry survives by convincing you that peace comes later, after the next habit, the next breakthrough, the next version of you. But peace isn't unlocked, it's allowed. And the moment you stop trying to earn it, you realize something they never wanted you to know. You were never behind. You were just sold a race you didn't need to run.
Everyone wants to improve their life, to be smarter, healthier, richer, more disciplined. But people feel more stuck than ever.
There's never been a better time to do it. More books, more courses, more podcasts, more life-changing systems.
Despite consuming more self-improvement content than any generation in history, people feel more stuck than ever.
Burnt out, anxious, inadequate. So we have to ask a dangerous question.
What if the self-improvement industry doesn't want you to succeed?
Self-improvement sells one simple promise. Your life can be better if you just fix yourself.
Wake up earlier, think more positively, optimize your habits, buy the right framework. And on the surface, that sounds reasonable.
And that's where things quietly shift. Because the moment you actually succeed,
You don't need the next book, the next course, the next guru.
Which creates a problem.
The self-improvement industry isn't built around transformation, it's built around perpetual striving. Notice the pattern. You're never done. You're always almost there.
An industry built on your dissatisfaction will never let you feel satisfied. Self-improvement sells a simple idea that your life is almost right, but not quite. One more habit, one more system, one more mindset shift.
And when it doesn't work, the blame is never the system, it's you.
You didn't try hard enough. You weren't disciplined enough. You didn't want it badly enough, which keeps you trapped in the loop.
Most self-improvement gurus don't make money from what they teach. They make money from teaching you.
But here's the uncomfortable truth. If their system actually worked for most people, they'd create competitors.
Grind harder. Think differently. Change your mindset.
Simple enough to sound profound. Vague enough to never be provable.
Fail to replicate their life, the fantasy stays intact because they made it.
Industry doesn't just sell ideas. It sells identity. You're not just someone improving. You're becoming someone
Disciplined, driven, superior to the unmotivated. And that's powerful, because once improvement becomes your identity,